So we are going to make ourselves look like zombies, like this. Ooh, scary. Okay. Um, this is one that I did yesterday, and I'm going to teach you guys how to do it. Plus, we can add some more things to it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to start out with a picture of yourself. And because I just didn't have one handy, yesterday I went into photo booth and I shot this image of myself. Okay. I've since drug it to the desktop, and I'm now going to drop it down into Photoshop, and it's going to open up a new project. Okay, first thing I want to do, boy, it's a mess. I want to crop all that mess out. So I'm going to go about right here, and I'm going to say crop it kind of like that. I'm going to move this over. Of course, we get a train. No lawn blowers, we have a train going in the background today. Okay, image, crop. And that's going to crop it down to about that size. So when I give you guys this tutorial, I'm going to give you some pictures to use. And if you want to find your own, you're welcome to do that as well. We're going to need a skull. Gonna need a skull. So I downloaded one earlier. I found this picture. Spooky. It's clearly a medical one because it's got screws and lines and stuff in it. But I'm going to take this skull and I'm going to drag it on down to Photoshop, and it's going to open a new layer. So I'm going to need to do a couple things. Well, first of all, I'm going to need to copy it. So we're going to get the rectangle tool. Rectangular marquee tool. I'm going to draw a box around it. I'm going to go to edit, copy. Then we're going to go back to our picture and we're going to paste it. And it's going to be really big. No, it's not. It's not going to be that big. Hello. Kind of appropriate for this that we're doing right now. So I want to get rid of all this white stuff. So the easiest way to do this, you guys, when you have something that has a really clear line around it, you can use, what did you say?
Magic.
The magic stick. Magic wand tool, but I like magic stick better. It has a better ring to it. We can go to the magic wand tool, select it, okay? And then if I click on the area that I want to disappear, look at what it does. It outlines all this for you, okay? I can hit delete. That goes bye-bye. And then I can come over here and like in this little area, I want to get rid of all that. Delete. Same thing. Delete. What I need to do is I need to make this bigger. And then you just click on the area that you want to make magically disappear. Oops. Now the edges are kind of dumb looking. See how they're like all, they're look whack. In this situation, it doesn't matter. But if it did matter, okay, see the little marching ants right in here? That means something is selected. So if I were to try to do another anything, that would keep us from doing it. So if you see those marching ants and you're stuck, you go to select and you select deselect. Select, select, deselect. To smooth up the edges here, I would come down here and grab the eraser tool. And you can just very slowly kind of go around and just get rid of those jagged edges. Whoops, if you want. And like I said, for this exercise, we don't really need to. I will get rid of those bolts though. Okay. So now I need to change the size of the skull. Oh, what the heck? Let's just do this. Oops. Okay. If you go to Edit, there's something called Free Transform. We're going to use the Free Transform option. But if you look over here, next to all the tools, the names of them, there's a keyboard command. So Free Transform, if I were to hit the command button and the T, it would activate Free Transform. So if I do that right now, Command T, it makes a box around it. Okay? Oh, I can't undo. I can nope, I can't deselect. So we're just going to leave it. Lord have mercy. So, look what happens to the mouse. If I drag it out to the corner, look, I can spin this back and forth. If I grab the end, I can do this. If I grab the side, ooh, I can do that. I can grab the corner and drag it diagonally. Okay. So there we go, all done. Just kidding. What we want to do now is go to, over here, our layers panel. Okay. Layer number 1 is the skull face. Layer background is my face. So we're going to select the layer of the skull, and we're going to go over here to opacity. And remember, opacity, it means see-through. How see-through is something. So I'm going to grab that slider, and I'm going to bring it down. Maybe there. Okay. Then I can really come in here, and I still have the eraser tool, and I can select like where my hairline is. Okay. You can see up in here. And then where the skull goes over. Okay, so that's kind of kooky and spooky, right? I think I want to change the contrast on it, though. So, anytime you want to do something to a photograph, you go to Image, Adjustments, and I'm going to go to Brightness Contrast, and I'm going to bump up the contrast so we see more detail in the skull. I think that's better, don't you? And then I can bring the brightness down, and it looks real spooky. I think that's a lot better. Kind of looks real. Dear God, that's me in another 20 years probably. Okay, so we've got this. It's not really smooth. So we can come over here to the tools, and we're going to use what's called the smudge tool, and it's just a long finger. And we're just gonna, I'm sorry, am I keeping you up? So as I'm doing this tutorial that I'm going to put on YouTube for you guys to be able to access it to practice, we're going to hear that big yawn. We're going to hear the ladies that are chit-chatting in the back. Just saying. So then you just do this. You smudge it out. to match the face. Okay. Now in here it's kind of weird because there's that red line that was in the original photograph. We can, remember when we did retouching in here, guys? We can come back over here, go to the spot healing brush. We can draw a line over it, and that creepy red line is gone. Okay? So now we've got this. Are we bothered by the line of the skull right here? Should we make that go away? Like that? Why, yes, Miss Harrington. What a great idea. Let's do that. Good. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback on that. This is great. Okay. The next thing I want to do is I want to add a creepy wound. So I went online and I Googled infected wound. And I found pictures. And I thought that one was delicious. Okay? Crazy, huh? So I'm going to take this image, I'm going to drag it into Photoshop, and it's going to open up in a new little window here. And I'm going to come over and grab the lasso tool, and I'm going to trace around it. And yes, we have some medical tools involved, but I want to get so that we can see where the skin's like opened up. Then I'm going to hit cut. Then we're going to come back to my picture and we're going to hit paste, and it's going to be really big. I'm going to free transform it. And I know this is a hand, but it could kind of, to me, it kind of looks like it could be like your neck bone. So if I put this down here, excuse me. If I put this down here, it could look like someone had like stabbed me in the neck, or like I'm decomposing or something. So now look at the color difference. Look at my skin tone compared to this dead person's hand. This is awfully yellow. So we want to come up here to Image, Adjustments, and let's go to Color Balance. And here we find yellow. We look at our image, we say too yellow. So this will tell us the opposite of that color. Opposite of black is white, right? Opposite of magenta, which is a fancy word for purple, like the magenta in my hair on this side, is green, and then yellow and blue. So this looks too yellow, so I'm going to try giving it a little more blue. And that doesn't do anything, huh? But I definitely don't want to add more yellow. So let's just bring the yellow down just a little bit. My skin tone is a little more red, kind of pink. So maybe we add some red. There, that's looking a little closer, huh? And maybe green? Nope, that brings the yellow back. Too much magenta. Pretty much red's the way to go here. So if you squint at it, it kind of looks like it's the same. I'm going to hit OK. And again, I'm going to mess with the opacity on this thing. Let's bring it down so it blends a little better. Then Image, Adjustments. Let's mess with the saturation a little bit. Let's take some of the colors away. Saturation means taking the color away. No, that just looks like a black and white. We can also super saturate something to make it really dark. That's just weird. So that's looking pretty good right there. So again, we can come over and get Mr. Smudge tool again. And you can just smudge out the ends of this. So now you kind of have to be careful on areas like this where my hair is. And you can just blend that out. Now, if you want to add more scars and gore and stuff, here's another picture that I downloaded. And it's of just a great big, super freshly stitched up wound. Excuse me. I'm going to get the lasso tool. I'm going to cut around it. Okay. I'm going to copy. I can close that out now. Close that out now and come back here to me. I'm going to paste it. Free transform, right? Make it smaller. Now what if I put a scar on my forehead? Because all zombies have stitches, right? No. So, again, doesn't really match completely, but if we change the opacity, make it a little more see-through, okay? Color looks pretty right on. Maybe bring down the exposure a little bit. Smudge tool. And look, it blends right in. Gals, when you do your makeup and you blend in your foundation or your blush, same type of thing. So there we go. Super creepy. Now, let's make it even creepier because this is color, right? So let me tell you something about the layers. The layers here. We have our background layer. Let me turn all these off, which is my picture here. Next layer, skull. Next layer, gaping neck wound. And the next layer is my head wound. So, I'm happy with how all these looks. I don't want to do anything else. So what I want to do is I want to merge all these layers into one. I want to merge all these layers into one. I'm going to come over here to layer. And I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says merge down, merge visible, or flatten image. We're going to flatten the image, and that's bringing all of the layers to make one photograph, okay? So how can we make this spooky? Well, to start, we can make it like black and white. Image, adjustments. And instead of going to black and white, I'm going to go to what's called hue saturation. And I'm going to desaturate it. Now, if I go all the way down, it's going to be black and white. But if I just go partially, we get a little bit of color, like the color in here. And this is cool because it almost looks like veins to me. But does that look a little more kind of zombie realistic? I think it does. And then I don't want to see all this junk in the background. So I'm going to add something called a vignette. Anybody know what a vignette is? Here's kind of a fun way to do it. I'm going to go to filter. I'm going to go to camera raw filter. I'm going to go over here to where it says effects. Post crop vignetting. It's a French word. Oh. And I can take this and slide it either left or right. Okay, if I go to the right, it's going to make it have a white outline, which to me that looks tombstone. To me that looks like when you know, somebody's passed on and their tombstone has a picture of them. Bless you. I think the black looks a little creepier. So I'm going to put it on black. And then we can adjust the size of the vignetting. That looks better because you kind of can't see the stuff in the background. Roundness. However you want to do it. And feather. Feather will make it like a really solid outline like that, which I'm not crazy about. We just want to kind of break it up just a little bit. And I'm quite pleased with that. So boom. I'm a zombie. Pretty cool, huh? You guys are going to zombify yourselves. And we're going to have a whole class wall full of zombies. I'm going to give you guys the Padlet, the skull, and the wounds. You guys are welcome to use those. Or you're welcome to search out and find your own. Okay? And once you're done, you're welcome to like look at it and say, hey, wouldn't this be cool? What if I made my eyes green? What if I took it a step further? I would come down here. First thing is I'd get my paintbrush, right? Going to select a color. What's a good zombie color? That maybe? I'm going to keep the opacity really small, like at 19. I'm going to change the brush size down so that it fits the eyeball a little better. Okay? I'm going to make this bigger. And then I'm just going to kind of color the eyeball. Okay, I don't like that. I'm going to undo the brush tool. Let's bring the opacity down even more. Let's go to like 10%. How does that look? And if you really wanted to, you could like add you can make the eyeballs red, the whites of your eyes. That's pretty cool. That's pretty creepy. He's got pink eye. She's got pink eye. Okay, so for tomorrow's class, guys, I want you to bring either a picture of yourself on your phone that you'd like to zombify, or you can take one in photo booth like I did. You need to be looking straight ahead. So let me end this tutorial and say goodbye to our friends at home. Bye-bye now. Call this a zombie. You were recording? Uh-huh. Oh, shit. Yeah.